lethal spikes, lightning aces, and gritty digs. We've got all of that for you and much more because we've got one of the most exciting and fast-paced college sports on tap for you tonight. NJCAA Women's College Volleyball with the Montgomery College Raptors taking on the Chesapeake College Skipjacks on MCTV starting now. From the Rockville campus of Montgomery College in Rockville, Maryland, Montgomery College Television presents NJCAA Women's College Volleyball with the Montgomery College Raptors taking on the Skipjacks from Chesapeake College. Hi everybody, I'm Michael Brown, and it is my pleasure to welcome in my partner for tonight's match, Sean Kobrin. Sean, it's been a while since we've had a chance to do MC Sports.
Michael, great to be sitting next to you again doing our first Raptors game together.
It's a first for a lot of things tonight, but first and foremost, we've got an intriguing women's volleyball match ahead of us because we've got two teams with two different agendas. On the one hand, we've got Montgomery College. They've had a terrific season up to this point. So with only a couple of matches left before the playoffs, tonight is all about fine-tuning, working on the small things, really getting geared up for the postseason.
That's right, Michael. And on the other side, the Chesapeake Skipjacks, this result today won't have a big regard on their win-loss record overall in the season, but they are looking for that milestone victory to put their program on an upward trajectory.
Well, that's for sure. And we've got a lot of special things on store tonight, including a special ceremony for the sophomores on the Raptors team. But first, it's our national anthem.
We will be honoring our sophomores in a very few minutes, but we must meet our guest volleyball team. From the Chesapeake Community College Skipjacks, a sophomore, number 3, Caitlin Quinton. A freshman, number 7, Haley Mills. A freshman, number 8, Tanaya Stanberry. A sophomore, number 10, Rose Smith. A sophomore, number 11, Jennifer Carr. A freshman, number 22, Jessica Dove. Head coach, Jordan Glessner. Assistant coach, Diana Dieter. For your Montgomery College Lady Raptors, a freshman, number 7, Emily Scott. A freshman, number 9, Andrea Falcone. A sophomore, number 10, Susanna Munoz. A freshman, number 11, Yesenia Mora. A freshman, sophomore, number 14, Dejana Cobbs. A sophomore, number 15, Kelly Stark. A freshman, number 16, Clara Z. Head coach, Amir Mafinejad. Assistant coach, Daniel Smith and Tori Keno.
It's sophomore night, and the graduating players are being honored for all they've done and accomplished during their careers at MC.
Let's meet Ms. Susanna Munoz. Our next sophomore, ranked third with 1.267 kills per set. Ranked third with 76 kills, 0.317 block per set. Let's meet and greet Kelly Starr. The Montgomery College leader in hitting percentage at .325. Ranked second with 171 blocks and 1.196 blocks per set. First with 4.222 kills per set and 266 total. The 2011-2012 Howard Invitational All-Tourney first team, and 2011-2012 Hagerstown New Horizon All-Tournament First Team, Miss Dejana Cobbs.
Well, that was a really nice ceremony, Sean, and very fitting for these Montgomery College student athletes.
Well done by the athletes, and great job by Coach Mafinejad honoring the players who now have to get their game faces on and get ready for this match.
And they're ready to do that. And they're, as you can see, they're having their traditional pregame handshakes.
Yeah, almost like a pair of boxers who meet in the middle of the ring and touch gloves. Both players give each other high fives as they walk by the net.
Now, our referees for today's match, our first official is Duncan Monroe, and our second official is Jennifer Batty. And both teams are out on the court. Chesapeake's in blue, and MC is in gray and purple, the new color scheme for the school.
That's right, Michael.
And while we're getting ready to go, let's take a quick look at some of the keys to tonight's match.
Sure. The first one, the hunter becomes the hunted. We touched on that before the national anthem. Both teams with different motivation for winning tonight. The Raptors want to have a good tune-up. Chesapeake wants that big key victory for their season. The second is not just the passing fancy. For both teams, their best player is their outside hitter. Rose Smith for Chesapeake and Dee Cobbs for Montgomery College. Can you get those players the ball so they can go on the attack? And the last thing, the little things loom large. And we talked about that for Montgomery College. Are they going to do the little things that's going to make them an impact team in the Region 20 tournament?
Well, we're underway, and we've already had a ball up in the rafters. There's Emily Scott. We're going to try to set the Chesapeake lineup for you while the action is underway. There's Cobbs, and that's her first point of the night.
Well, that's how the offense wants to go for Montgomery College. Can you get Dee Cobbs the ball in a good position, like we just talked about? When she's hitting from the middle there, she can attack it with finesse, she can attack with power, and she jumps way over the net. Hard to know where she's going with the ball.
6'2". There's Tania Stansberry, and another block and point for Cobbs.
That's right. And Yesenia Moore right next to her. probably the two best athletes on the team right next to each other. That's a lot of arms to get the ball through.
Yeah, Yesenia Mora, the freshman, who Amir Mafinejad compares to a raw D. Cobbs.
And he hopes she has a similar progression. D. Cobbs, 4-year aspirations with that kill, looking at a couple different schools to go to, and that's what it's all about here at this level, getting ready for those next 2 years of your life.
Yeah, Amir told me that when Cobbs came in, she was a very raw player. She had a lot to develop to get better, and Yesenia's in a similar position right now. They're expecting big things out of her in the postseason and next year.
Right, and Dee's a great example for her because Dee has a lot of talent, but she's also put in the work. You know, it's one thing to be a great athlete, come in here, and you can make an impact for Montgomery College or for junior college just using her athleticism. But Dee has really put in the work to be an all-around player to get to that next level.
Raptors up 4-2 in the early going of the first set. Number 7, Haley Mills, serving for Chesapeake. It's a long, hard serve, and that's going to be a point for the Skipjacks.
And that handcuffs Susuna Munoz, who probably could have let that go out of bounds, but it had such a hard trajectory. Caught her in the middle of whether she decided to try to set that or let it go.
Another hard serve, but this one goes out. 5-3 Raptors in the early going. Substitution, Melody Young coming in for Mora. And Melody is a freshman from Sherwood High School, marine biology major, and there's her low hard serve. And there's Rose Smith, the big hitter on the Chesapeake team.
And they brought in Melody Young for that serve, but then they get hit with a poor dig from Young. But she's still in the back row there. See if she can make up for it.
There's Z, and a nice point there for number 11, Jennifer Carr for Chesapeake.
But they're giving that point to Montgomery. As we can see, Carr hit the net with her hands when she made the block.
Good pickup. All right, now here's Cobbs serving. D. Cobbs has a great personality, loves to have fun, told me that volleyball is her life.
And you can tell she's one of those people who just lights up the room when she walks in, has that personality that you get drawn to, and that's great as your best player. She's one of the hardest workers, great personality. Everybody likes to play with her.
Very generous out on the court. And there's a set by Falcon, Scott, Carr, and it's in.
Michael, that's one of those things we talked about, moving without the ball, doing the little things. D. Cobbs, her strength is not being on the back row, and she was playing up towards the net, trying to be aggressive. There wasn't good communication on that back row. No one had that corner covered.
And there's Catron's serve. Scott.
Just out of bounds for
That was
Scott.
out. Just out.
Emily Scott's an interesting player, almost the opposite of D. Cobbs. She's an outside hitter / defensive specialist, and that really describes the role she plays on this team. Excellent defense from the front row, but more of a finesse player as a hitter.
And not afraid to go down and get the dig.
As we saw right there.
Yep. There's Stock with a little finesse, and she gets the point. Raptors up 7-6 in the early going.
Michael, I like this teamwork up front. Emily Scott picks it out, and Kelly Stock is the one to put it away.
Nice set there by Falcon as well. There's Rose Smith, and she's long. Coach Glessner from Chesapeake told me that if Rose Smith is fired up, she's really striking the ball hard, finding her spots on the court that the team feeds off of.
And, Michael, a lot of similarities in how both of these teams like to run. If their outside hitter, their middle hitters are playing well, it goes without saying. If your attack is striking the ball well, you're going to score some points.
That's for sure. And there's Clara Z, and that's just out. Off the hand of another player, so it's in.
But you can see, and we'll keep looking to it, Michael, when Rose Smith gets a good attack on the ball. Her teammates really react well. There's the tip right at the net.
Yeah, tip right at the net. The official caught it. First official, Duncan Monroe. 10-6 Raptors. Just to remind everybody, it's the best out of 5 sets. The first 4 sets are to 25. You must win by 2. If there's a 5th set, it's a 15-point set, and again, you must win by 2.
Michael, just talking about the comparison, if you look on Montgomery College's YouTube channel, the last volleyball match we had was the year that Montgomery College went to the national tournament, and they had one of those signature victories against Howard County Community College, a 5-setter.
Little miscommunication there on the court, sort of a I got it, you take it.
Yeah, a lot of holes right now in the Montgomery College defense, and Chesapeake's doing a great job exploiting it.
They're hanging tough here in the first set. There's a set, Scott, and she gets the point.
Well, that's something we haven't seen from Scott's game. Just when I called her a finesse player up front, she struck that with some power.
She did. She's got a good vertical leap as well. There she is, Emily Scott from Covenant Life. Told me that she is 5'8", not 5'7".
Michael, I can identify with that. I list myself as 5'10", even though the tape measure might say 5'9", but once you get to that 10-inch, the double digits in inches, you know, a lot difference in perception.
And another point for Montgomery.
And you see Chesapeake misses on the rotation when Rose Smith has to be on the back row there. That's an attack she would have nailed, but Haley Mills just with a whiff up front that time.
So Scott on a roll from the serving standpoint. Carr gets it over. Scott, Falcon, Mora.
Great cross-court hit by Mora.
Good leap.
This is a change-up in the attack. A lot of strikes right at the team. Going cross-court here. Catch Chesapeake on a rare.
And there's a... They get it over. Z gets it over, but Stansberry cannot return it.
And Michael, you said after 2 points, Scott was on a roll, but her serve forces Chesapeake into a timeout here. Really a hard one to handle.
And while we have a pause in the action, did you know that this game is also available for viewing on Montgomery College's YouTube channel? Well, in fact, it is, and a whole lot more. All you got to do is go to www.youtube.com/Montgomery College. There you'll find a link to this game, plus past soccer, basketball, baseball, and other volleyball games. And you'll also find links to hundreds of other MCTV programs. Once again, that's www.youtube.com/Montgomery College.
Michael, Coach Mafinejad, no stranger to our televised games, has got a couple of his in the archive on the YouTube channel. Great to see him and his squad back out here tonight. Emily Scott, we saw her serving before the timeout. Let's see how Chesapeake handled this. Her last serve, basically an ace because Chesapeake could not get it back over the net with a good attack. And this is the second sneaky attack from Clara Z. On the return, Yesenia Mora hits it a little too far. But before the timeout and right after, Z snuck the ball over, and Chesapeake barely handled it this time. Did not handle it all the time before.
Here we go again. Falcon, Stock, Mora.
Good skill there. We saw a couple points ago Jennifer Carr on the Skipjacks tried to block the ball, hit the net. Yesenia Mora jumping over the net. Her hand goes over the net, but making clean contact, legal contact with the ball, getting the block.
That's legal as long as she doesn't interfere with the player on the other side of the net.
That's right.
Scott with a nice return. There's Rose. Here comes Mora. Smash.
And Michael, you can see why this is basically the starting lineup for Montgomery College. Good defense in the back here. And then you have two strong strikers at the net.
They had no idea where Falcon was going with that set. And there's another point for Montgomery College. 18-8 in the first set.
And Michael, we've talked about the attack at the net, but you're absolutely right in talking about Andrea Falcon. Leads the team in sets, and she is the setter. And that's always the closest comparison to a quarterback on the volleyball court. She's the one who's communicating, she's getting the players in the right spot, and she's the one trying to get the ball to the attack in the right spot.
And we have Susanna Munoz serving, one of the sophomores, of course. There's Katron from the back line. Munoz, here comes Cobbs, and that's another point.
And Michael, that's a part of the court that you don't see a lot of teams hitting because you have to get well over the net to be able to control it and hit it right in the middle of the court there.
And that's exactly what she did. Found that open spot. Munoz remains in the serving line. Nice hard serve. Carr gets it over. Munoz digs it. Here goes Mora. Katron. Quinton. Scott. Falcon. Cobbs. Blocked beautifully there by Mills.
Yeah, good frontline action there by Chesapeake, and they're going to need to take a run here to get back in this set.
Yeah, right now it's decidedly in Montgomery College's favor at 20-9. Again, it's 25 win by 2 in the first 4 sets, 15 win by 2 in the 5th and final. Again, if necessary.
That's got to be a good confidence builder for Haley Mills.
Ooh, bad defense there by Montgomery College. They just weren't ready for that one.
Yeah, with Smith and Mills at the net, this is probably Chesapeake's best attack.
They're both tall and strong.
And play with skill.
Cobbs. Rose Smith. Comes Mora. Z. Stansberry. Mills. Good rally. Comes Mora again. And that's long.
Good fight by both teams.
Good effort on both sides of the net. So Clara Z moves into the serving position. You can see the end of that play.
Unfortunate for Rose Smith, who really did it all for Chesapeake on that sequence there. She had a dig, she had a set, and she had 2 attacks, the last one hitting out of bounds.
And here's Mills with the serve for Chesapeake. Dug out by Munoz. Here's Cobbs. Oh, she mishit.
And she knows it. We saw that reaction there.
Not happy.
Well, those are those little things we talked about, Michael. In a more contended set, you don't want to give away points like that.
And Young comes back in for Mora.
But D-Cobb knows that's one she puts away 19 times out of 20. The most upset person on the court about that is her.
Oh, absolutely. There's Young. And she gets the point. Stansberry just not ready. And we've got a timeout on the floor.
And Young brought in as a substitute for her serve, but surprised herself with getting that point there.
Well, so far, pretty one-sided Montgomery College, Sean.
Yeah, they're still haven't accomplished all of their goals just yet, I don't think. They've given away a few points this set. 11-point margin puts them in control of this set. They only needed to score 2 more of the next 15. But still, I think they can all take this and say, we want to play even harder. We want to press a little bit more heading into the second set. And also, of course, let's put this one away. Let's try to get the next 2 points.
You know that Amir Mafinejad is talking about those little things in the huddle. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind.
And there's those things that they'll go back and look at practice with certain rotations on the floor. those exposed back corners of the defense.
Nice dig by Munoz.
An illegal touch by Montgomery College there, but that's an example outside of the foul there of the communication. Emily Scott yielded to Susana Munoz, who had the dig there.
Falcon, here comes Cobbs, and that's a little long.
She got caught in one of those situations, Michael. You never want to reach behind you to spike the ball, and we saw Coach Mafinejad even waving behind his head as telling her that's where you hit the ball from. If you have to reach behind your head to get it, you're not going to put it down on the court.
And that's precisely what happened. MC gets it over. Carr blocked by Cobbs. Another blocking situation. You're allowed to hit it twice in a row on a block. And good point there. A couple of good blocks by Cobbs.
You can see the development of D. Cobbs as a player. Makes a mistake, but then makes up for it with a big block and dig.
Cindy Cibrian checks in for MC. She's going to take over the serve for Cobbs. Falcon, here comes Stock. Here comes Scott. And that's the set. That's the set.
Overall,
and Montgomery College wins the first set, 25-14.
Overall, well done by Montgomery College. Here's the last attack by Scott. That's where she likes to hit it the best, from that left side.
All right, so Montgomery College up 1-0, and we're ready to, we are actually delighted to welcome in to our announce table Derek Carter. Derek Carter, the brand new athletic director of Montgomery College. Derek, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations and welcome to MC.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here. I've enjoyed everything so far and looking forward to a great time.
Well, Derek, let's let everybody get to know you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your journey to get here, a little bit about your background and experience.
Well, I have an affection for athletics, beginning in my days at DeMatha High School. Finished DeMatha, went to Virginia Tech to play football. After football at Virginia Tech, I graduated. I worked for Xerox in D.C. for a few years, and then decided if I had to work for the rest of my life, I had to go back to my passion. So I decided to go back into athletics. And I went to University of Tennessee and got my master's degree in sports management. And from that point forward, I just progressed in the business. I worked at Tennessee as assistant AD for about 5 years, and then went back to Virginia Tech as assistant AD for 6 years, and then I served as athletic director at Virginia State, Bowie State, and Delaware State University.
And Derek, you've only been here for a few weeks, but what are your initial impressions of Montgomery College athletics?
I'm very impressed with Montgomery College athletics. First of all, the student athletes, they're here for the right reasons. Everyone has aspirations after they leave, but they're in tune with going to class. They're in tune with working hard in their particular sport, and that's what you want to see. And then they're developing as young men and young women, and good staff here, and the administration is doing the right thing. So it's been exciting, my first 4 weeks.
How much easier of a job does that make it for you to have these student athletes and coaches that are so engaged in the complete picture of being a student athlete?
Of course it helps. You certainly want to have people who are focused on priorities being in order. Anytime you're in this business, priorities can get out of whack. But it's important that the priorities are in order, and the students first, athletes second, and the third step is they want to develop as people and move out of this experience at MC and do bigger and better things when they leave.
That's fantastic. One last real quick question. Facilities-wise, do you have some thoughts and plans on some possible new facilities for Montgomery College?
There's been some conversations. We're definitely going to do some things to address the softball field. That's coming. Construction on that project is going to come beginning the next couple of weeks. But there also have been some long-term plans that the initial phases are going on. So we're going to get there.
Well, Derek, if you'd like to, we'd love to have you hang with us for a few minutes. If you'd like to help us commentate, we got a heck of a match going on here. And Montgomery College, of course, wins the first set. We're getting ready to start the second set, so hang with us for a little while if you'd like.
I'd love to. Thank you.
All right, so Chesapeake will be serving to start the second set. And Katron's serve is...
That's in there.
And that's in there. Couldn't tell. I was kind of screened out by the second official.
And so are the players. They a little bit miscommunication there, but they're able to laugh it off at this point with only the first point of the set.
All right, here we go. There's Cobbs. Stansberry gets it back. Z to Falcon to Cobbs, and that's in.
And that's the contrast from the last attack that Cobbs had. She reached above her head, struck the ball past the point of contact, and that's the reaction there. But she was able to get over top of the ball and kill it on the court instead of killing it out of bounds.
Yeah, buried it right in the back corner. Here's Melody Young with the serve. Melody is a marine biology major. Z. Here comes Cobbs again. Attempted block. They got to get it over, and they don't.
Derek, one of the things that the players talk about when we've met them is how many friendships they formed from playing volleyball together, and that's probably true of a lot of the student athletes here. It's such a big college. This must be such an enriching aspect, not just from the student athlete perspective, but from a social perspective.
No question. That's what I was speaking of earlier. The relationships you develop by participating on a team, and particularly when you're talking about the intercollegiate level, those relationships last for the rest of your life. So, you know, you practice, you go through the wins, you go through the losses, and people just get amazed of all of the circumstances that take place throughout a season. So it's no question that you build bonds and relationships that you won't forget.
I'm sure you've been to many a Virginia Tech homecoming and seen some of the guys you played with.
No question. We get together probably too often, really.
As a matter of fact, you told me you just got together with them when they played up here at FedEx a few weeks ago.
That's true. We all were together when Virginia Tech lost to Cincinnati in FedEx. And even though they lost, we still had a great time, so it's okay.
5-1 Montgomery College in the early going here in the second set. Melody Young still serving. Derek, it must be great to have coaches on your staff like Amir Mafinejad. I mean, this is a guy who, when he took the program over 5 years ago, it was in the absolute doldrums. And now they're one of the powers in Maryland JUCO.
No question. I've been very impressed with Amir and the other coaches. Their level of commitment to teaching the student athletes not just how to play the sport, but how to do things right. And I can't say enough about the coaches that I've inherited since I've arrived.
Yeah, they really – I don't know what these guys get paid. I know it's not enough. I mean, they just put so much time and effort and love into what they do. And they're all part-time.
They're all part-time, but they have a passion. And I say it all the time. You're not in this business unless you want to make an impact on young people's lives. And obviously, Amir and the other coaches, they love their sport. And this gives them an opportunity to coach and keep their hands in the sport, but the passion is there.
7-2 now, Montgomery College. Chesapeake with the serve, that was Dove. And Stansberry, she has it blocked, but she saved it. Young, Falcon, and point for Chesapeake.
Good attack by Chesapeake. Again, the Raptors caught a little bit out of position with a quick reaction from Chesapeake to put that ball away.
And, of course, Derek, you're here at an exciting time. The postseason is about to begin.
I can't wait. I can't wait. First of all, it's glad to have your team. They're able to compete in postseason. And volleyball and soccer. It's going to be exciting next couple of weeks.
Yeah, the soccer program, you know, I think we were all a little concerned with 2 new coaches who really didn't have that much time to recruit or prepare. They've really, both of them, both men's and women's soccer teams have had really fine seasons.
They really have. And like you said, those were late hires. And, you know, when you come in that late, you have to learn your personnel. You have to learn the different personalities of your team. So to be able to do that so quickly and to produce winning teams, and once again, winning teams who are going to class, who are excelling in the classroom is the one thing that I certainly want to commend the new coaches for.
Here
so
we see
important.
Clara Z plays below the net, but with a lot of skill. There she is. That's probably her 4th sneaky kill this match.
Well, you know, Amir told me she's one of the smartest players on the team. He says, I can play her almost anywhere. I don't have to tell her what to do. She knows the game so well.
No, she's been in the right spot, and that's why I say by a sneaky kill. She's in the right spot and hits it in the right place where the defense can't get it.
9-5 Raptors. And Chesapeake with the serve. Carr on the serve. Good hard serve. Falcon. And Young hits it into the net.
Extended playing time for Melody Young, who really started out this set with a string of 7 straight points for Montgomery College off her serve.
And meanwhile, you've got MC has 2 of their bigger, taller players not in there right now. Neither Cobbs nor Mora in the lineup at the moment.
Well-deserved reps for Cobbs, who saw a lot of the action while we were chatting about some of the bigger picture stuff at the beginning of this set.
Right. Good block. (11-6). This is Andrea Falcon getting ready to serve. Now, her sister, Maria, played on Amir's first volleyball team 5 years ago here at Montgomery College.
I feel like we see that more often than not. Players with such good experiences at Montgomery College that their sibling comes and wants to play too.
Yeah, we've seen that across the board, just about every sport here. Get another look at that.
Nice kill with some power there. Kelly Stock.
Kelly Stock, one of the graduating sophomores.
And with Cobbs and Moore out, she's really the main player on the front line there. Most powerful, tallest. She's the one who has to get those above the net plays.
Stansberry with a sort of a strange looking hit there, Sean.
It didn't quite work out.
No.
Certainly not in her plan either there.
Well, Derek, you got to love the excitement of women's volleyball.
You know, that's one of those sports that over the years I've been around so much that I've really gotten into it. The women are great athletes. They work hard. And the games are so competitive as you watch. You know, this 3 out of 5 format is interesting and exciting.
It was a good time for you to be an athletics administrator in the last decade or so, because East Coast volleyball has really caught up to the West Coast in some aspects.
No
ACC
question.
and Big East are starting to compete with the Pac-12.
You're exactly right. You know, traditionally it's been such a West Coast sport, but over the recent years, the youth, the younger kids are playing so much more. And club volleyball and everything has grown so much.
Yeah, you're seeing it more high schools, more clubs.
Well, and Amir Mafinejad, part of his background in coaching is as a club coach.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Most of these coaches have some connection with club, because that's the recruiting these days at all levels really stems from club activity.
He coached for club level out in Oregon, where he is originally from, as well as back here in Bethesda.
Meanwhile, Tania Stansberry trying to get Chesapeake on a run. And that's 3 points in a row for them. A little bit of momentum off of a break. Haley Mills got away with one touching the net on a block that she scored on. And now here's the 4th serve in a row for Tania.
You know, Sean, as I look at Montgomery College's lineup out there right now, and of course we don't see D. Cobbs, it reminds me of what Coach Mafinejad said, which is, you know, Cobbs has been nursing a sore shoulder. Perhaps he's trying to give her a little more rest because of that.
Sure, and as much as they want to play well in this game, part of that is playing well without your best player on the court. And obviously, managing the whole season, the Region 20 playoffs are coming up soon, so you don't want to spend all of D. Cobbs on a regular season game when you're already in good position.
Okay, now they put Mora back in for Young, who did a great job while she was in there.
Yeah, extended playing time for her and a good run to start the set with her.
Well, Derek, it's been great having you here. We look forward to working with you all throughout the year. We're planning on doing a lot more MC Sports on MCTV, and I think that's going to help the program.
Well, I think so, and we certainly appreciate everything that MCTV is doing for us, and look forward to many more engagements, and just everything is going to be a great time at Montgomery College.
That's what we like to hear.
All right.
Well, thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you.
Great to talk
Thanks
to
so
you.
much.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the match.
Chesapeake is really battling so far this set, Michael, and we haven't paid a lot of it. Well, we've certainly been paying attention, but not devoting our voices so much to it while we've been meeting with Derek, and a great guy to be leading all the programs at Montgomery College. So, well, I'm glad we've had the chance to visit with him on the air.
Oh, I think he's going to do a great job here. I just get a real good sense that he is in charge, in command, and has a real plan for what he wants to do with the programs here.
And you hear the different things that he's saying about the different teams, which he's only been here a few weeks. He's putting that time to get to know the athletes and the coaches already.
And, of course, he's come in at a time when the college is trying to reinvigorate their athletic program. They've gone to the one college, one mascot, new color scheme, unified program here. One team per sport, whereas in the past you had 2, 3, 4 basketball teams. Now there's one men's team, one women's team.
Yeah, and some of the players had some things to say about this as well.
I think that it makes the school come together as one.
I think it's really good, actually, because we are one college. Even though we have separate campuses, we are one college, so I think it's good that we're unified and in one team.
I actually like it. You know, it's a lot less confusing than just having, oh, Knights, Falcons, and the Griffins.
So the players seem to like the one college thing.
Yeah, I mean, and they're all great competitors. So Montgomery College, between Rockville, Germantown, and Tacoma Park, already had good athletic programs, but now we can have the very best athletes who want to come to Montgomery College playing on one team.
That's right. You got one volleyball team, so all the best volleyball players are on that team. Same for baseball, basketball, soccer, you name it, whatever sports the college offers.
D. Cobb's back in the game with the block right there.
And the player, and I think D. Cobb's hit the nail on the head for me. It's less confusing. You know, last year and for years before, it was the Knights, the Griffins, and the Falcons, and now it's just the Raptors.
Right, and it was always fun to have those intra-college games, but it also had that intramural feel sometimes, you know, bragging rights inside the campus when the goal is to represent Montgomery College on the bigger stage in Region 20 and in the Nationals.
That's true. That is very true. So now the Raptors are just 2 points away from putting this set away. They're up 23-11, so that brief flurry there by Chesapeake has dissipated.
And Montgomery College, you can really see the quality of players. We talked about, and we've been a little bit critical about the things that they're doing wrong. But, you know, when you see what good athletes they are, how well they work together. We talked about they have these friendships on and off the court, and it shows with the way that they celebrate the points that they win there.
D. Cobbs, of course, is just a really enthusiastic player, but this whole team is. Oh, nice kill by Mora.
And there's more of the team chemistry. Classic blocks, or set, dig.
And Mora with finding an opening spot there on the court. So that is the end of the second set. Montgomery College puts that one away, 25-11, and they now lead 2-0. So, you know, it is sophomore night, Sean, and before the game we had a chance to sit down with a few of them and talk to them about some of their favorite memories of playing volleyball at Montgomery College.
My favorite memory was I played 2 years ago and we went to nationals, and that was pretty awesome. We went to Minnesota, so it was really fun up there.
So last year I was on the team, and when I was like, I guess you could say prepping for my approach, my coach taped down my arms so I wouldn't swing my arms as much. And my friend Kelly, who's also the other awesome middle hitter, she sat there and laughed at me. So that's the most memorable thing I remember.
So that was Dee Cobbs telling one of her favorite memories. And quite a funny story. Amir trying to work on her technique with a little bit of tape to help him out.
Yeah, and the players just laughing and kidding around with her, and that just speaks to the good relationships that these young women have with each other, the enjoyment that they have playing volleyball with each other. And that's more what senior night's about too. Not only is it, you know, getting ready to move on with that aspect of their life, but also celebrating what they've done in these 2 years.
And of course, as Susanna Munoz pointed out, her best memory was 2 years ago when they went to the national tournament. And that's the first time that's had ever been done in Montgomery College volleyball history.
Yeah, Amir Mafinejad has turned this program into a recreational activity, into a team, into a program, into something that young women who are serious about playing volleyball want to come to Montgomery College and make a difference.
It's a year-round program. They play as a club in the off season. He's recruiting hard all year long. His wife is a high school volleyball teacher in Montgomery County, or high school volleyball coach in Montgomery County. So she funnels players to Montgomery College. As a matter of fact, that's where Clara Z came from.
That's right, and that's one of those players that you find just through the high school programs and funnel her in.
All right, well, we are just about ready to get the third set going. Montgomery College is out on the court. And Montgomery College is out on the court. And we're waiting for Chesapeake.
Michael, the way that Montgomery College responded in the last set really speaks to that chemistry that they've built over the last couple seasons, being able to play club together, young women who went to the same high school together. Without calling a timeout, the team responded to the rally from Chesapeake. And it was they did it by doing some of the little things, by working harder. You can see it from the fatigue on some of their faces that they really battled that set. Even though they won by a pretty good margin, Chesapeake was making a run, and they just put that down. And that's one of those unspoken things that you want to work on heading into the regional tournament.
Boy, they're going to need it too, because they're going to be playing, at some point they're going to play Howard. And Howard, of course, is undefeated in Maryland JUCO this year. So they're going to need all those little things and more.
And again, that's been the weak spot on the court for the Raptors this game, but they had players with a hand on the ground diving for it. So the effort's there, the skill will come.
And this is a fairly young team for Montgomery College. I mean, you've only got 3 sophomores on the team, so they'll be strong next year as well. And these freshmen, of course, will have a year under their belts. right, so Chesapeake up. There's Cobbs. And there's Rose. Rose Smith with the kill.
We haven't called her name a lot since the first set. So we'll see if she can establish herself in this set and pick one up for Chesapeake.
Oh, nice dig by Young. She really gave herself up there.
Yeah, she came all the way from the back line.
Boy, that was an inspiring play there. No regard for her own safety, just went after the ball. There's Cobbs. Oh, nice. Doesn't get it in, though.
No, but going back to that dig from Young, she's the player who had to make that play. One of the things I really like about Emily Scott is that she knows if the ball's going past her, it's the player behind her who has to make that dig. And that was in that in-between territory. A lot of the times the ball has hit the court in this match. That time dug out.
Nice save there by Chesapeake on a tremendous strike from Cobbs. Mora comes back in for Young.
And here's one of
Emily
those
Scott will be
combinations
serving.
we really liked. Sorry about that, Michael. Cobbs and Mora at the net.
Nice block by that tandem there.
And then everybody got caught unawares on the Chesapeake side.
3-2 Chesapeake in the early going of what could be the final set if Montgomery College should come out on top.
And this is where we can see, do they have that killer instinct? They're going to face some of the best teams in the Region 20s, but when they are the favored team, can they get out of there in 3 sets and save their energy for the next match?
That's right, because you are going to have some 4 and 5 setters in the regions. There's no question about it.
D. Cobbs again reaching behind her head for that strike. And it seems like all her teammates are reminding her of that as well. It seems like the only offensive hole in her game because she's doing a lot of great things as well.
And they call that one in.
Just
5
nudging
for
over the
Chesapeake.
back line.
And this is Haley Mills with the serve for Chesapeake. And it's long.
She almost snuck that one in too.
And our camera guy over there, Joe Thompson, just about got beamed by that serve.
Well, it's not a complete Montgomery College match unless Joe's life is at risk.
The camera hardly moved at all as he got whacked on the side of the head by the volleyball.
He's tough, though. He's a world traveler. He's battled through a lot more than volleyball heading for him.
There's Munoz serve. There's Smith. There's Falcon. Mora. Oh, she found the back of the court.
Great attack by Mora.
She's had some great placement tonight on her kills.
Yeah, really unassuming, not so demonstrative, but getting the job done.
Well, she's a recent starter. She was not starting a few matches ago, but she's been coming on. This is what Amir Mafinejad talked to me about a couple of weeks ago, the blossoming of Mora.
And she's playing with great confidence. Every time she goes up to strike the ball, you can see she has it in her. She believes she's going to score. You see so often that there are players who get up there and they just want to get the ball over the net. But she's not one of those. She's going for the score every time.
All right, here's Munoz. She's on a bit of a roll from the serving line. And another point.
Caught a break with the hitting the rafters, which are in play in this gym. So
they are.
We'll see the funny angle here. Ball in the air. And then it comes down quite drastically.
Straight down. Munoz, nice hard serve. Another one in the rafters. Stansberry gets it back. And nice try for a dig there by Z.
Yeah, Z again in the right place at the right time. Just didn't get her hands quite underneath it that time.
8-6. Montgomery College on top. We're in the third serve, and that one's out. Falcon will take over the serving duties now for Montgomery College.
I like Falcon's serve. It's kind of a knuckleball, a little bit hard to handle.
Kind of flat. Scott's got to get it over. She does. Up in the rafters again. Those rafters coming into play here. Here's
almost
Mora.
like the seventh woman.
Oh, nice. And they're going to give that point to Chesapeake.
4 hits from Montgomery College. There we go. 1, 2.
Yeah. 4 hits. Illegal hit. And there's Dove on the serve. Scott, Falcon.
There's that miscommunication. Again, 3 players going for the ball at once.
And there's a timeout on the floor. And the score is 9-9. Well, you know, Sean, if you want to really stay on top of what's happening with MC Sports and MCTV programming, then make sure to follow us on both Facebook and Twitter. For Facebook, just visit www.facebook.com/Montgomery College TV, and you'll find links to games, shows, events, news flashes, and much more. And also check out MCTV Sports on Twitter. Just visit www.twitter.com/MCTV Sports, and we'll keep you up to date on all the latest MCTV sports news and broadcasts.
Michael, on that Facebook screenshot we saw, you saw a picture of the new HD TV truck, and what an opportunity for the students of Montgomery College to be able to work with that on remote broadcasts.
Well, and we have a lot of students helping us out tonight. We're gonna be talking about them in just a moment, but it is a fantastic opportunity to learn on state-of-the-art equipment. Meanwhile, Chesapeake has now taken the lead in this set, 10-9.
An important kill right there from
By Kelly Stock. Here comes Young back in.
And just when we talked about the confidence of Yesenia Mora, she had a bad attack, kind of hung her head a little bit. It's a good time to get out of the match and talk with Coach Mafinejad. He could remind her about all the good plays she just made before that one mistake.
I think also part of that strategy is because Mora was next on the rotation to serve. You get Young in there, who, of course, as we've seen, is excellent from the service line.
Absolutely. Fortuitous from both a strategic and a personal standpoint.
Right. Good call either way for Amir Mafinejad.
And Young looking to start another run with the serve.
Raptors up 11-10. We're in the third set. Montgomery College has won the first 2. Young, Falcon, here comes Scott. Up and, it made it through the rafters that time.
Interesting little wrinkle whenever the ball's way up.
And Z with the point. Well, this Montgomery College team has a lot of unsung heroes when you think about it. They have the big names like Cobbs and Stock and Scott, but you've got a lot of players on this team who are not afraid to hit the floor, to dig out that impossible ball. Players like Melody Young, for example. Falcon with her setting.
Right, and we Susana Munoz, the libero tonight. She's gotten a lot of digs from the back row, just kind of quietly getting the job done whenever she's in that back row rotation. That's right.
There's Falcon and Stock with a nice little finesse, and the point is to Rockville. Here comes Cobbs back in. And Stock on the service line. That's going to be tough. They got to get it over. They do. Falcon. comes Scott. That was kind of a ragged point there, wasn't it, Sean?
Yeah, Michael, at one point you saw 6 Montgomery College jerseys around the ball. Let's see if we can see it here. Almost like in basketball, they were all on one side of the court, and Chesapeake reverses to the other side, and Montgomery College didn't react to it. You only need one player to hit the ball at a time. You want to work together as a team. You want to know who's bumping, who's setting, who's spiking. And that time, everybody wanted to do everything.
Here comes Falcon, Scott, and she gets the point. D. Cobbs is back in there. Take another look at that.
And that's a good example of moving without the ball. D. Cobbs going behind the set just in case a block comes back at her, ready to react.
Nice block by Cobbs. You're allowed to hit it twice on a block, and that's long. (16-11) Montgomery College. And that ball went almost out of the building. But our guy, Joe Thompson, got the shot. And another point for MC.
Now, we were talking about the runs that MC went on when Melody Young was serving, but interesting enough, Kelly Stock, kind of the leader of the front row when D. Cobbs is out, she's put them on a run serving right here.
And normally you don't think of your frontliners as good servers, but she's doing a great job.
And she's gotten a couple digs out of the back row while she's been back there too.
Kelly Stock is an elementary ed major, wants to move on to a 4-year school after leaving MC. Stansberry, and that's in. Caught the corner.
Nice kill by Stansberry, giving Chesapeake a little bit of life. Match is slipping away from them. We've been talking about those cross-court kills.
All it has to do is hit the line. Cobbs. Falcon. And another point for Scott. Falcon sets have really been one of the stories of the game, I think, for Montgomery College, Sean.
Yeah, when she gets her hands on the ball, there's a good attack right after it.
Yeah, she really places them well. Gives her bigs a chance to slam it home.
And she knows where she wants to go with the ball, too. We compared her to a quarterback, but also like a point guard. She kind of got everybody in the front row involved, giving them all a chance to get kills, which keeps a good rhythm for the team going.
And she's moved it around. She's gone from side to side to the middle. She is not telegraphing her sets.
Not at all.
Another kill by Cobbs.
And another really soft set from Falcon.
So it's 21-12, and we've got a timeout on the floor. You know, Sean, we were talking about students, and one of the great things that we mentioned is that at MCTV we get the opportunity to work with many students in the television program here at the college. Realistically and literally, we couldn't do a match like today without students serving valuable roles on our crew. And today we have a number of current and former students helping us out. The current students that we have are Paul Steinitz. There's Paul. Dallas Howard. See if we can find Dallas.
Well, that's her camera.
There's Dallas Hyde, and there she is. We have Brianna Hurwitz. Brown is brand new. We have Sandra Garcia. There's Heather Welliver. And we also had earlier tonight, we had Leon Oyaro and Shahima Chalela. They were both here earlier helping out. So we had a lot of current students. We also have one, there's Sandra. There's Sandra. We also have one former student on the crew tonight, and that's Pete Vidal. We're going to get a look at Pete here in just a second. And there's Pete. Say hi, Pete. Your kids are watching, Pete.
And Michael,
all right, back to the action, 22-13. There's Cobbs, another big one. Putting an exclamation point on this match.
That's the kind of kill you want when you're closing out a match.
Big swing. Look at this swing coming up.
There's
wow.
the difference. Hitting the ball past her head, able to get a lot of power on it.
Way above the net. Another block and point for Cobbs. 24-13. This could be match point.
And Michael, the last 2 points scored by our player of the match, it's Dee Cobbs. She was everything that we expected her to be and then some tonight.
And very exciting to watch. What a pleasure to watch her play. Here comes Scott into the net. Yeah, Dee Cobbs has got to be our player of the match. But when you look at this team, they've all done something. They've all done multiple things tonight to help their team get to this point. And there's Cobbs, and that's appropriate.
Yeah, she put it away, but truly a team effort. A lot of those little things we talked about. We saw some mistakes, but overall, one of the best team performances that we've seen all year.
And that is the end of our match. You could see the players from both teams congratulating each other. Once again, our final score is Montgomery College has won the match 3-0. Our player of the match is Dee Cobbs. There she is, sophomore Dee Cobbs, number 14, uncounted amount of kills tonight.
Yeah, Michael, when she was up at the net, she delivered consistently. And all the players rallied around her because of that. Everybody filled in their roles, and the team rallied behind her. It's exactly what you want to see your best player perform, and exactly how you want to see the rest of the team perform behind her.
And talking about Dee, here she comes delivering match point. Set from Falcon, and there it is. Match point. Straight set win for Montgomery College. And it's appropriate on sophomore night that Dee Cobbs is our player of the match and also scores the decisive point.
Yeah, and she's looking to move from Montgomery College to continue her volleyball career at a four-year school, and whatever school gets her is going to be very fortunate.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's being looked at by Towson and Penn State. And once again, from Montgomery College, the Rockville campus, the women's volleyball team has won in 3 straight sets. The Montgomery College Raptors have won in 3 straight sets over Chesapeake College. Sean and I will be right back in just a couple of minutes with an interview with the winning head coach of Montgomery College, Amir Mafinejad. Welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown alongside Sean Kobrin, where once again Montgomery College has won in straight sets over Chesapeake Community College. 3 really one-sided sets for Montgomery College.
Yeah, Michael, let's look back at the keys to the game. The hunter becomes the hunted. Well, Chesapeake had a couple good rallies, especially in that second set, but Montgomery College responded with great teamwork, great chemistry to put that away. The second one, not just the fancy, we talked about it. Andrea Falcon, whenever she gets her hands on the ball, Montgomery College is in good shape. And the young women who were digging the ball made sure that she got the ball more often than not, which led to so many good attacks. And then looking at the little things, not quite as good as Coach Mafinejad would want that match to be. But I think overall positive, a better building block, and if they can improve over the next few regular season matches, I think they're in good shape for the Region 20 tournament.
Yeah, you know, you talk about some of the unsung heroes tonight. You talk about a Melody Young who many times during the match tonight gave up her body to dig that ball out and give her team a chance to score a point. Susanna Munoz on the back line as the libero, doing a great defensive job. I mean, these are the kind of players that they absolutely have to have play well in order to do a job in the region tournament.
And it shows the quality of players who are coming to Montgomery College, where you can see a whole team effort from a group of talented players.
Well, we're hoping to get Amir Mafinejad over here in just a second. I know he's I can see him over there. He's got his kids over there. He just had a new baby. He's got a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old. So he is Amir has got his hands full at home as well as here on the court.
He probably takes a break to come to practice.
That's right. That's right. Of course, he's in his 5th season as head coach here. 2 years ago, they went to the Nationals. Last year, they set a school record for victories. So he's really turned this program around in a short amount of time.
And now it's a school with those expectations where we talk about at the outset of this match, it's not okay for Montgomery College to say, well, we're just having a rebuilding year. Instead, we might not be playing as well as we have in past years, but we are looking to get back to that level by the time the postseason hits.
Exactly. I mean, he knew coming into this year he had lost the core of his team from last year that, again, set that school record. He knew he was going to have a bit of a building job to do this year, and that's why his goal at the start of this year was it's not how we start, it's how we finish. And we are now pleased to welcome in the winning head coach of the Montgomery College Raptors, Amir Mafinejad.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're just going to switch these mics for a second here. I'm going to reach across, little boarding house reach.
There you go, okay.
You know, what are you going to do? We got to make sure everybody hears you and hears Sean.
It's the fun of live TV.
I know. I haven't had practice in a couple of years, so it's good to have you guys back.
We were just talking about with the 2 kids that you have with a newborn. Right. You must come to practice to take a break.
I know. That's good. And my wife's been great. I, come to practice, and I'm like, oh, at least I get a break. You know, it's been a long season, and she's been great. You know, allowing me to coach, and it's been a great run. It's come to an end pretty quickly.
We were talking about some of the big picture aspects from this game, the team playing well, doing some of the little things better. How would you assess the progression of the team from how they've started to where they are heading towards the Region 20s?
The biggest challenge for us has been to get up for some of the games. I mean, these are the games that, we should have been a little bit more dominant, and some of those little things that we didn't execute that we wanted to do better. And we talked about those, and the pace of the game goes slower than we wanted it to. And we always try to make sure that we are actually going faster. And then we have another match coming up, College of Southern Maryland, next week, and we're hoping that's going to be a good match. It's going to be the final tune-up for Regions Tournament. But some of these matches that we've had here and there doesn't allow us to kind of test ourselves and see what happens. We had a tough match Tuesday night, and we didn't get up for it, but it was a good assessment as to where we need to be, especially going into the Regions Tournament.
All right, so the Regions are on the horizon. You're playing the way you're playing. I mean, that's what it is. How do you think you're going to stack up going into the postseason?
I like our chances, and I've told the players that we have a great set of players individually. Collectively is when we got to communicate. Then you got to make sure that you're constant communication with one another on the court. It's just those things that we got to make sure that we gel, and I think our chances are good. And it's just a matter of what we do with it. And we've played against Howard 3 different occasions this season, and we know how those turned out. But hopefully we can go up there, and we play them actually the first match of the Regions tournament. So they'll be our first one, head-to-head. So. And we're excited, and we've played them differently, different rotations, different lineups every match that we've had against them, just to kind of give us a flavor of what we can do with different personnels and different positions. So,
well, at least you won't have trouble getting up to start the tournament.
Right. So we're leaving next Friday, and then we'll be there overnight, and we'll be ready for them.
Well, that's a heck of a way to start the region with Howard.
Yeah, they have 4 teams this year. Anne Arundel didn't have a team this year, so we have 4 teams. Butler and Lorraine. Lorraine won it last year. They went to nationals, and Butler's always been strong, and we haven't played Lorraine in the last 3-4 years, so hopefully we get to play them.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best in the postseason. Again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
On a big win tonight.
Thank you.
And once again, from the Rockville campus of Montgomery College, the Montgomery College Raptors winning in 3 straight sets over the Chesapeake College Skipjacks. From all of us at Montgomery College Television, thanks for watching, everybody.